Hello, I'm going to talk about how to be creative by using Instagram today. And Instagram as an app is a fantastic tool for letting your creativity grow to something totally different and be with you every day as your smartphone is. I remember when I went here, I said, oh, I've done this presentation, but I have in no place written my name. My name is Bodil, and I'm a geek girl. Geek girl is a closely knit network with women who are interested in technology and business. And we have once a year a meetup, and we also have sometimes these small meetings when somebody's talking about something, and this time it's me talking about creativity, among other things. So I'm going to talk about how to be creative. I'm going to talk about today what talent is. I'm going to talk about finding your visual voice, how to tell a story by your photos, through your photos. I'm also going to talk about a bit about, of course, about Instagram as an app, what to do and what not to do, and what to think about, so you can make better photos. Simply, there's some simple rules. Follow them, and everything will be so much easier. I'm going to talk about it. No, not a bit. A lot about myself as well. So. I'm just coming back from Sweden Rock Festival, and last week I talked with Hazel, and she said just before I left, "Oh, could you do it in English?" So this is the first time I'm making this presentation in English. So if it sounds a bit strange, you know why. Instagram as an app started in October 2010. And it's quite beautiful. It said, we're building Instagram to allow you to experience moments in your friends' lives through pictures as they happen, and vice versa, of course. We imagine a world more connected through photos, and today it's not only photos, it's also videos. Videos is the new big thing. That's what's escalating most, get the most views, get the most attention. And Instagram is also ever-changing. This last month it has been starting with advertising. Always there's been like, you've seen a photo and there are chronology to it, but now it can be, oh, this was posted 2 minutes ago, the other photo was 4 days ago, and another one 20 minutes ago. So you lose a bit of that, and that new thing makes me really sad, or as a friend of mine said, gives me a headache. But again, a community without anyone in the community is not a community. So Instagram is ever-changing. Some changes we don't like, but maybe you have to change back. I started with Instagram in early spring 2011. So just a couple, it was like 1.5 million or something like that worldwide. And early summer, I posted a photo of turning torso, and a friend of mine said, no, a guy came up, commented and said, are you from Malmö? And I was like, yes, I am. Do you want to meet other people who are going out with Instagram? We have a photo walk. I was like, yeah. So we did that, and that was the beginning for me as an Iger. Iger is short for Instagrammer or for Instagram user. It's the same thing. And we down here are called Igers Malmö, or Instagrammers Malmö, because this is the southern parts, and in Copenhagen they are called Igers Denmark, because that's the only town they have or recognize. But we actually first started here in Malmö, and then in October 2011 we helped them to start in Copenhagen. And it's a bit like Geek Girls, closely knit network, people meeting because they're interested in taking photos with their iPhone and posting them on Instagram. That's how it started. We had this get-togethering, photo walks around in the city, have the same hashtag, and posting, and then by that learning to know other people, not only people in Denmark. I learned to know people in Japan, Singapore, US, Italy, Great Britain, Russia. This is like everywhere. Iran. There are IGOs everywhere, and we do, especially Instagrammers, we have this thing about it's street photography, more or less. So we are this is a lot of black and white, but street photographers, the classic street photographers, we are very influenced by them. So that's how it started as well for me, because I don't only talk about Instagram, I'm also a photographer. But hadn't it been for Instagram, I would never dare to take that step to be a photographer. That was something enormous for me, something big. I couldn't even say I was a photographer. It was like saying, oh, I'm God. It was that enormous. But through Instagram, I learned about creativity. I learned about being brave with my camera, and that I can see things and I can express things. And not only me, everyone, because when I met people that they were, oh, camera, oh, there's so many technical aspects, and you have to. So they thought, yeah, if you start with a smartphone, then just take pictures. And don't have to think about, because you can't. Focus is the only thing, more or less, you have to think about, but not like time, aperture, shutter, nothing. Just focus on taking a photo that's telling a story that you want to tell, or about a detail, or whatever. So a lot of people sort of opened their eyes and found out that, I love photography. Photography is fun, helps me express myself and meet other people. Then again, a lot has changed since then, but some things are the same. The love to photography is definitely the same. So, this is my name. Actually, it started as an English name. I was Evil Bunny. Someone had stolen that name, or was before me, but I thought they had stolen it. So I became Elak Kanin, which is not straight way to translate it, but it's good enough for me. I wanted to start with an E. So engage your mind and eye, and that photo right here took it sometimes during this winter, and it was a foggy day. But then I just saw this person. I think it's feeding birds or something. I don't know. But it was so peaceful in a way. And then I was just up with my smartphone, took a picture, some editing, and then up on Instagram. But those photo opportunities just don't arrive. You have to use your eyes and your mind and have an idea of what you want to tell. But first of all, you have to start working with your eyes and learn how to see. But it's a skill, and all skills can be learned. So how many of you are on Instagram, by the way? Everyone. Oh, come on. Okay, so you're private.
No, I don't want my pictures to be listed.
And you know, one of the news about Instagram, I think it was early this year, that you actually could switch between two accounts without logging out. So you can have a private account and you can have an open account and different stories. The private is your private photos, and the other ones could be something totally different, what you're interested in or anything.
I heard that Instagram is having a problem paying more users, less and less users than
Yeah.
Instagram. That's what I heard. Is that true?
It might be. The last number I have is from October, November last year, and then was 400 million. All these changes about chronology and adverts, commercials, that's because Facebook owns Instagram. So the way you see your feed on Facebook, especially on your smartphone, is totally different. It's like most popular. I don't care about what's most popular. I want to see all my friends. They're my friends for a reason. Same with the photos I'm following on Instagram. I follow them by a reason, not. Yeah, but 70% of the photos you miss, yeah, could that be because I'm not awake or not checking on that? But I still want to see them. But of course, they want companies to buy advert or sponsored places. So yes, I think they're losing, and we are quite. It's quite sad. I still have a strong community, but we might leave Instagram and go somewhere else. Especially in Denmark, they are fantastic. We had a couple of months ago, 2 months ago, we went to Louisiana before it opened, and we have all the museums to ourselves. It's like 40 people running around taking photos. Nowadays, no one uses these. No. Nowadays, everyone, and I really mean everyone, using something like this. It's a bit sad, but as you progress, you want to take photos with better quality. And next, on Sunday, we are going to Kronborg before they open. I'm going to run around. I'm going to see if Hamlet is there or his father or any other ghosts. But yeah, it gives you new opportunity to see places that otherwise would have been, for me to see places that otherwise would have been closed for me. So it's a social part, the exclusive part, and photos. Yeah, if they're going on like this, they're going to lose a lot of people. So, I don't know if they're trying to be more for young people, getting close to Snapchat or anything like that. And it's also the videos. Now you can use, when it started, it was like 15 seconds. Now it's 60 seconds, a minute. And you can edit them even. So we'll see. But again, ever changing, might change back. But again, Facebook owns them, so they want their money back. The pay was $1 billion or something like that. So yeah, that's quite a lot of money. So, creativity. This is actually from when I went to Louisiana. Always like that spot. Be different, be yourself. Like, all right. I don't know why that is hanging on. Life is not fair, deal with it. Well, fuck that. That's Jenna Martin who said that. She's a photographer. A lot of people being creative, it's not something you're born with. It's something you learn. And as it is a skill, it's something you have to work with as well. Because talented and creativity are, as I see them, cousins. They don't come for free. Zlatan, for example, they say, oh, he's such a talented football player. Yeah, he might have been talented. But if he hadn't worked on it, he would be someone who's sitting out at Rosengård and wonder what's happening with his life. I was playing football and earning millions and millions. Same with photography. But you had to start being creative, but what do you want to do? Well, it's an opportunity. I don't know if when you're taking photos, are you taking mostly with your smartphones or with an Instagram camera or what? Smartphone, yeah. Okay, the smartphone learned me how to be brave, because you can put it anywhere. It's a trampoline. You can put it straight down. You can put it on a wall. You can put it anywhere and get these amazing photos following long lines that people with other cameras don't do. But that's because once Instagram started, it was only for iPhones then. People weren't photographers, so they didn't know any rules. They just shot photos and trying to frame it. And if they took it and they didn't like it, well, then they tried something different. And by doing something different, suddenly you start to feel like, yeah, this is fun. Now I'm getting it. But you have to take a lot of photos. And you have to do tons of mistakes before you realize what to do. This is, by the way, not taken by smartphone. It's by my camera, and it is an double exposure. But this is what happened. Nowadays, even full-framed cameras, mine is, that's a fancy word for a professional camera, have Wi-Fi. So, took that photo, transported it straight in to this one, edited a bit, and voila. Everybody's cheating nowadays. So, for me, it was realizing, yeah, creativity is something I can understand. And creativity takes a lot of work. You just can't give up. You just have to work and work and work. And someday it will be easier. But you can't give up. You have to trying to find your way. Sorry, checking. Yay! When I chose photos, I didn't have this enormous plan of what I'm gonna. I just yeah, this worked, and this has been on Instagram. I can use that one. And then after a while, I said, well, they all look like they're from some kind of horror film. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. Here we go. Yeah, that's my daughter. I'm just telling you because this is the day before Christmas. It was really, really cold. I said, oh, yeah, Mommy has this great idea for a photo. It's a bit cold, but you have to pretend it's not. So, I have to enjoy it. Okay, this Diane Arbus, has anyone ever heard of her? She's a famous photographer from New York. I think she killed herself. Black and white, most famous book was called Freaks. She also did some street photography. If you ever find a book on the library, just borrow it because it's so inspirational to watch her photos. I think it's falling off. So I was talking about this. It's important to take bad picture. It's the bad ones that have to do with what you've done before and what you will do in the future as well. Always appreciate your bad photos. Or as Ira Glass, an American journalist, said, always appreciate your shit. Because as long as you know it's shit, you know you can do better. Most of the times when I started to take photos, it's actually always, I always start with taking bad photos, but then I know it can only be better. So don't be afraid of taking bad photos. It's from the bad photos you will learn. And when you say, this is not good, I want to do better, that's the beginning of your talent. So always appreciate what you don't know. As long as you realize, like, not good enough, can do better. So we did one like this, but in the summer. And I didn't like it because you could see she had quite ugly shoes. I was like, I have to do different. So I just kept it here. And that's totally how you learn your children how to behave on photos. It's a skill, can be learned. But yeah. Well done. Any questions? I have to ask me, or otherwise I just keep on talking.
Sorry, but I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I'm working in companies, learn them how to use Instagram, branding, and then I work as a photographer. So it's not artist, it's a photographer. No, I did a really, really bad introduction of myself. So sorry.
Sorry, but I'm not a prolific photographer. But how really do you recognize a bad photo?
Exactly. Well, if you've taken it by yourself and you don't like it, I think this is not what I wanted to do.
Well, the thing is, I can't say it's very seldom that I think, I don't like this one. It's just that.
That's the beginning, yeah.
It's more like that.
Mm?
It doesn't mean anything afterwards. It's taken. So is that a bad photo then?
Well, it's not a photo you like, is it?
No, probably not.
No, so you recognize that. That's the beginning. And then you have to take it one more step, like, I can do better, because we all can do better. It's skills, we can learn them if we want to. So that's why I'm here, so I will give you some inspiration. Because it doesn't matter how you share your photos, if you're like on Instagram or you just share them between friends. Start talking about photos, because we learn how to write and we learn about grammar, but we see photos and we see videos every day, everywhere, but we don't have a language actually for photos or for pictures. We say, what's a good picture and a bad one? Well, actually, it's up to everyone to decide what they think is good or what they think. More like, this doesn't say me anything. Well, then it's a bad photo for you. And don't let some expert telling you, like, this should be like this. Because when I started into photography, it was like, have to be like that, and have to be like that, and digital is... There's still people don't like Photoshop. No, you have to be in a dark room. That's I don't care about that. I care about my photo. I think it's brilliant. We can do so much through both our computers and smartphones when it comes to editing. And it's good for everyone. It's like a democratic process.
Do you have special editing apps on your
Oh, yes.
and would you mind sharing it?
Of course. Which one do you use?
I don't.
Okay. Instagram. Yeah, I never use that one more than posting because I want to be finished with the photo before I post. It's like, this is the expression. I want if it's going to be black and white, color, use, everything. One of my favorites, I have two favorites, and they're both free, doesn't cost anything, and they are both for iPhone and for Androids. One is called Snapseed. It actually cost money, but then Google bought it, and then it became free. And then we have another one that's called Visco, and more hipster, but it's still very good. And since it's a hipster, it's called VSCO, but pronounced Visco. And that one you can film with, and that's called Disco. But they are good to start. Visco, actually, most of the time. But Visco, yeah. Depends on what I'm doing. If it's like a portrait, I do it in Snapseed because you can paint. You can use a small paint, so you can use just make the face lighter. So yeah, but just like that, but nah, Visco. It's easy. If you understand, I was so stupid when I start with apps. It's like, okay, and see this one, okay, how only you can do this for, until I swipe. Oh! And then I had the app for like 1 or 2 months. So. But they are really, and there are tons of apps. Okay, other ones here, favorite apps. Let me know. Anyone? Editing, photo? Yeah, Photoshop, yeah. Is it the real Photoshop or Photoshop Express? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the real, not the cheap sucker Express. Yeah, Afterlight, yeah. I love that one. Yeah. I have also one in black and white that's called Noir. That's black in French. But that one is only for iPhone, yeah.
Sometimes I publish photos on Instagram on my computer. Do you know a good app to use that or program to use?
Not really, no. Instead, what I do, I'm editing nowadays. If I'm not going through the editing apps on my smartphone, through my computer, and then I use Disk Connect. Just a woof, straight over, and then after 30 days it expires. So yeah, it's sad, but that is still the same. You have to, and I think because they had an open API. Come on. But I closed that now. So it was a website called Iconosquare, and you can see how many your most popular photos, what time during day people most like your photo. I can't use that anymore because they've closed their API. So no more third parties. So even if they were probably closed, it was like a week or two ago they closed it. Yeah. It could be because they closed down all third-party apps. Yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree, and I don't see why it still has to be through the smartphone. It's strange. Yeah, it's lots of extra work. It's annoying. So no. So remember, as you pointed out, who said what's bad? Well, you said who's bad, but take bad pictures. Enjoy your bad pictures. They will make you a better photographer. Oh yeah. You see what I mean about horror movies? So, your visual voice. Um, that's actually a fancy word for your style or your expression. But everyone has it. Nobody take the same photos as another one. Even if you're standing right beside each other, it will still be different. And you would afterwards edit it in a different way. So I like this by Harry Callahan, who's not Dirty Harry, actually a photographer, probably dead by now. So I be like Van Gogh, and nobody ever known about me, but I make really great art. So always remember, you're making photos, you want something to tell, but you're making them for yourself. You want to tell yourself, and then you share. So I have to say, I have a friend of mine. When she started with this, she was like, didn't really know what she wanted to do with Instagram, but she enjoyed it. And then she realized she loved to take photos of small details. And she made it so beautiful. Details nobody else saw in everyday life. And then media started to write about her. It's like, but that was her visual voice. Daily, everyday, urban details. You walked by. Suddenly she made small, beautiful photos. And I always thought that style and expression were more or less the same thing, but it's not. Style goes more into your editing, but expression, that's the photo moment, what you want to express. And now, if I haven't been listening to this like a year ago, now I would think, this is so many fancy words. What does it mean? But forget about that and remember this. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Because that's what you learn, what you like to take photos of. And why? You have to shoot a lot. And every day. Not like, this will make it good. No. Every day. The best way to do that is finding a challenge. And I haven't told you yet, but in the end, I will give you a challenge. All of you. Even you. Because you need that. You need to have something to use as a workout for your eye. Otherwise, it will never learn. Otherwise, it will never understand what to look for and what you want to look for. Because we're all unique. We all have something to say. And now we have the opportunity as well, and through pictures, which, by the way, are international. So, I'm just going to check time. Yep. Ready for something more scary? Yeah. Double exposure. So, a story to tell. We've been like, it's nothing new. We're talking about being story. This one actually has a story. This one is my favorite mistake. Yes. wanted to do something really, really cool with double exposure. And she held her hand like that, and then, ow! So I took it, and then I took it then, but then I only had 2 exposure. So instead of my idea, I got this one. I was like, wow. But then I looked at it, and I was like, that one's okay. And it tells me a story of a summer evening. She's tasting some grains. I don't know what kind of grains. I'm so bad at that. Rye, maybe? Anyone? Anyone grain experts here? Could be. Hopefully not filled with poison, but she's still alive. Yes. There are apps you can do double exposure with.
What kind of professional camera do you have?
750. There's one have Wi-Fi. So it's getting closer to what was before called, or is called nowadays, called an Instagram camera. And they're small, compact cameras with Wi-Fi. They're quite sharp and use them raw. In smartphones, use photos are JPEG or PNG. So they became very, very popular, these small cameras, not only by people who shot for Instagram, but also among professionals, because they shoot really good photos. But it was so small, weigh nothing. I like having something to hold. So yeah, summer, and she really looked like a misfit. Look, I don't know what happened. Probably side effect after Chernobyl or something. Yeah. But, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. We have this, we work with project, me and my daughter. We have this one called Nordic Stories. So we read Nordic folk tale stories. And sometimes it's like stories people used to tell me when I was a child, like, you can't leave the path because then an hand will drag you down in the underworld. Yeah, so we're working with that as well. So that's actually became part of that story, because I'm trying to find, not as my friend, the detail of every day, but the magic of every day is still here. But that's my strange brain. So yeah. And sometimes the story is really, nothing is like beautiful day or serene, peaceful moment I want to tell, because this is the peaceful moment and I want to freeze this moment for the future. Because it says something in, I don't know, sometimes it's a story without words, just a feeling. And that's actually quite important when it comes to photos. It's not about the technique, it's not about what you are shooting with, it's about the feeling you feel when you take the photo. And yeah, yeah, and his birds. Oh, yeah. But that was something I've been wanting to do, something when in here in Malmö, I have this sometimes during winter, these real foggy days. It's quite hard to take a photo because it's just fog. And there was this small small orange. Yes, yes, there it is, there it is. And it's so peaceful. This is also Malmö. This is another story of Malmö that you don't see, but I want to tell. And Dorothea Lange, also very famous photographer, dead in the 60s. All dead. One should really use the camera as though tomorrow you'll be stricken blind. Actually, there are blind photographers as well. They can never see what they are doing, but yeah, there are blind photographers. But again, Instagram and all these apps made me curious about technique, about what I can accomplish with a camera or with an app. By editing or compositing, making a lot of different photos into one, like a collage. And I so enjoyed it, and it's given me so much, both professionally, yay, but also as a person. It really has made a difference for me. And I wish more people would start engage with photos, and that we, as society, started to talk more about photos. Started sharing photos, maybe send 5 photos to a friend and say, hey, choose one. And then send me that one back and tell me why. Starting to see what other people see. You don't have to criticize, oh, this is good, this is beautiful. No, just start by telling what you see and what you feel. And that's how you see the difference between what it is a good photo for you or a bad photo. Does it tell you anything? Do you see what it's trying to tell? Do you feel anything when you see it? If it's like, yeah, bad photo. If someone else has done it, nothing to care about. Have you done it? Well, then you know you can do better. Yay. Oh yeah, now we're talking about Instagram etiquette. I told you I was going to tell you this. I hate people who do hashtags like this. Don't ever, ever, ever do it. Like using hashtags, writing a sentence and using a hashtag before every word. It's so pointless. And if you then share it to like Facebook, you see all these hashtags. I never hashtag in, I always put it this way, I've always put on Instagram, I always put my hashtag in the first comment. So I never have a hashtag in the caption. Because if I share it then, the hashtag's always following without doing anything more than making the photo looking really, really ugly. Another way to find hashtags make it easier for people to find your photos. Well, not yours because you're private. And a way to see what is popular where you are or might work for you, and check the geographic tag where you are. Like here you have media evolution. So what kind of hashtags do you use here? And then you will realize you're getting new likes. Now, it's not a popular contest, Instagram. It's not. But it's always fun if they like it. But again, quite early on, I was caught up in this, okay, I have to do photos like this because then I get most likes. That quite stopped my creativity, and it wasn't that fun anymore. And I always say this, if it's not fun, then it's wrong. You never should do anything just because you have to. You have to feel like you want to do it. So I started when I started with projects for myself, and did not care a bit if anyone liked it or not. Well, nobody liked it. Some liked it, but not as many as before. I lost like 75% of my likes. But now I was having fun. Now I was training my eye every day. I saw new photos every day, and I was chasing the moment all the time. All through on my bike, when I could stop. It's like, oh, there it is, there it is. People just run into my bike. I was like, having a photographic moment. It was like everyday anarchy. I stop here, 30 seconds for me. And I was having so much fun. But remember, don't go hashtag crazy. You never need more than 10 hashtags anyway. How many of you have heard of rules of third? Good. You could put on grid on your smartphone. Do that. More balanced. This is actually a scary photo, but you can't see it. It's from Florida when we were there, Disney World. This morning, they said on the news, two-year-old boy was eaten by an alligator. This water. At Disney World. All right. Okay, your assignment.
I didn't really get the rules of third.
Okay. Something you see here. 1, 2, 3. So anything should happen around this one, and here it goes like straight with this one. So I just took it because I knew I took this with my smartphone, so I know it should go. And then also, like here we have the tree tops down here, trees, sky. So this is 1/3, 1/3 here, and always if you imaginary dots here, that should always not in everyone, but in some of them, always something happen. And because you get better balance in your photo, more interesting. And I also here worked a bit with the foreground, so I'm standing, something, handing back, just to make it look a bit more interesting. Looks a bit more interesting on my computer, I must say.
So when you say happening, it means like something shifting in the picture.
Yeah. It's not just like, oh, water. It's something interesting. It's like I'm standing there on a jetty and watching, well, yeah, whatever that was. It was early in the morning. So, and always think about the background as well. Yeah, we'll take that more. We'll have some pizza. So, with the great Mary Ellen Mark, I go out and say, this hasn't been for nothing, I hope. And this is your assignment. Going out, finding letters in our urban landscape. This is what I did when I started. I can't like just shooting for likes. So this is some kind of pipe. I turned it upside down and a J. H is quite easy. X is quite easy. S is really, really hard. But you have to engage both your eye and your mind. And when you start it, you can't stop.